Riddle. Hi everybody. Um,
That works.
we doing something, and it should have started like 5 minutes ago. Um, uh, if y'all gonna be in the comments, y'all are just gonna be in the comments, right? So it is what it is until it isn't. So, and whoever's out there, if you will be out there, that's great. If you're not, that's fine because we're here. So, I don't know if you're gonna stand up or sit down.
I don't like sitting down.
You want to sit? Okay, sit. I'm gonna be here. Oh, and we can see faces. And I'm like,
My hair. I want to do something like cute. I just need the money then, and then I
Yeah,
will tell the girl to do
everybody.
it for me.
Everybody wants to be like your girl. No, I'm just playing. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But that's funny.
Is your mouth? Si tu viens dans le studio, à savoir s'il y a des vidéos, si tu veux, c'est lui. Donc, à savoir, si tu veux être, if you want to be famous on YouTube, tu viens. All right, éventuellement, il faut commencer. We have to start the show. So, it's on. You want to share with your viewers, it's ta voix, or if you want to put it up on your platform, you can film from this end as well.
Yeah, I like your things.
Okay, we're gonna record this because eventually we have to. Eventually we have to start. So and I gotta know what's going on. So y'all know where we are. We're at the radio station. I always started off this way. It's Thursday. Where else am I going to be on Thursday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon at the radio station? All right. I think we can get started. I have no idea what I'm going to ask you or what we're going to talk about. Well, it's just conversation as usual. So.
Bienvenue à Lagniappe.
Y'all would always think that I could figure this out after doing it almost 20 years, but there's always something to learn. So, BG Jimmy, right?
Yeah.
Because we have, pseudonyms and fake names over here, so we got to make sure we're using the right artist's name at the same time. And oh yeah, okay. And hello and welcome, dear listeners. Bonjour et bienvenue, chers auditeurs, à Lagniappe. Je suis votre hôtesse Erika Smith. Et aujourd'hui, vous savez, on a toujours des choses spéciales et extra. Et j'ai oublié de te demander si on va faire ça en français ou en anglais. Nous avons BG Jimmy, donc
Hello.
hi! So, oui, ça c'était la question. On n'a même pas. En français, anglais. Okay, so we'll do this in English. It's like it always makes it better. So, we're celebrating both maybe a new album.
Perhaps.
And some new music.
Uh-huh.
And all at the same time while we're celebrating Mardi Gras. So, of course, this is Mardi Gras season. Mardi Gras starts a little bit earlier than usual this year. It's around February 8th, I think, is when Mardi Gras is going to kick off. Or the 12th, I don't remember. We'll check. But we don't have Mardi Gras right here on Lagniappe, on Canopy today. And we're going to start off with the Wild Magnolias. That's what you can do when you have access to a radio station. You can use the music. So there you go. So I was like French or English. Now the only difference is that between the music breaks is that they will be able to.
Yeah, I get that.
Because I think and you can share this with your people as well. I think what people forget is that between the takes or between the music and
Where's
between the
your
breaks, this is where the real conversation is. It's between the music. It's not even when it's online. It's when you're sitting here, you're drinking tea. Thank you, Shoppa. Or you're drinking coffee or whatever, and you have these ideas about different things, and you're like, oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
So it's like, so we can't forget that they're watching too, even though there's nobody right now, and that's okay. We're here,
Yeah.
and the internet is a big place. Big place. There we go. So you can tell your friends where it's at. It's at Tavois. Tavois now. I gotta get my little papers out. We're gonna do 2 songs, and I think that's good. I hopefully the sound is good. Everything looks like it's okay. Yeah. I didn't even put it that. It's like she looks so pretty on me.
Perhaps because it's you.
I was like, wow. Ring lights, right? Yeah. Ring lights and a little bit of whatever. Um, so before we got started, what I was sharing with BG Jimmy was that we did that interview on Monday. Monday. And that was one of the first ones that I actually really enjoyed speaking with someone. I usually don't do interviews, and that's one thing about people who interview other individuals. One thing we usually don't do is being interviewed. Yeah, it's like that's just one thing that's like. I forgot it was a new suit. I gotta remember that this was
Yeah, myself, it's easy to review. Honestly, I always scared to get interviewed about it. I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
know
but
what
it's
they're
like
gonna
all
ask,
these
how they're
people.
gonna talk. Like,
But you know, and that was the thing that we were talking about was that being able to have a relationship with the person that you're speaking with, whether it's a professional one or non or personal, but ours is kind of both because of where we met and how we met.
Yep.
So there is a level of trust in being able to share, the information and whatever else is going on. So, going back. I just thought about something too. Um, but being able to create and cultivate trust in conversation and things like that is very important. And it's very rare to be able to have individuals that you can trust
yep.
while you're speaking about something that is dear and near to you, such as creativity and art and whatever else it is that you're working on. And then also to have that aspect where you know that the person is going to be the word is not careful, and the word in French respectful, but even more than respectful, you have bienveillant, and I really like that word in French is bienveillant, and I can't really remember what it is in English. It's like you said, respectful, but it feels. Excuse me, I'm on the floor. It feels a little bit more respectful than respectful itself.
Yes.
There's another element in there that's there. So
I like this.
I have a golden hour. I have golden hour next. And then Yeah, and then we can talk about what you've been working on.
Because you have the latest song
I
too,
do.
right?
I did this on there.
And there's a new one on February.
Oh, it's an
That's why I was stressed today. I was like, I have to do so many things.
No, I mean, it's like they say, just one thing at try to do one thing at a time, but there's no such thing as one thing at a time. So we're gonna play this song, "Golden Hour," and then you know, or we'll talk. Then we'll put in "Golden Hour" because I'm like, we still, even though it's Mardi Gras season, we still have a guest. And yeah, I think after this we'll talk a little bit and put that up there. Mhm.
This is this one.
Yes. So the way it's set up is here. It's actually linked to something. It's actually doing something.
Yeah, I learned this in school somewhere, but
I learned this through trial and error. Error.
they gave us a lot of great courses, but some courses I might have
Error.
forgotten.
Error. Not even trial. It's just error. And yes, indeed, dear listeners, we are celebrating Mardi Gras on Lagniappe on Canal Sud. Yes, you are at the right place at the right time. And we're not going back to New Orleans. We have a little bit of New Orleans here with us via Martinique.
Yeah, I guess so.
Via Martinique. Because, I mean, we still have a guest on today, and our guest is BG Jimmy, who we've had on the show several times. I think not last year. I think it might have been last year that we had you on at the beginning of the year. Definitely at the end of the year of
Yeah, perhaps.
2021. And then you were coming out with something else. And I think you were coming out with Golden Hour. I'm not sure.
That was the thing that we did last in the previous
Right,
year.
right in the previous. And there's always something new with creatives, especially when they're quirky, inventive, and can help you out with your own stuff. So, welcome back again. Thank you so much for being with us and gracing us with your presence.
I'm happy to be here.
Yay! So, you have, since the last time we spoke, so 2021, 2022,
Yeah.
2023 was what it was. And now we're in this new year.
Yeah.
What's been going on with the artistry, the life, because you have Instagram, you have YouTube, you also have a podcast.
Yeah.
Everything. So what's been going on in the life of BGG?
Well, the main thing was the music, because that's my favorite form of like art and just creating and telling what I feel inside of me to the world. So I released like I don't know, like 4 songs or something. Because I just was like I want to release as much as possible and tell my story as much as possible.
Right.
And this year I just want to release another song soon and the show because I like to interview people. I like to understand their lives. I like to take a little bit of their lives into mine so I get better. So that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, so there's this exchange, just like with artists, and really, I believe that with really good creatives, they learn how to create a reciprocity between the environment in which they find themselves and the individuals that interact with them as well. I mean, we kind of found that out on Monday because I was a guest on your show on Monday, and I was like, oh, by the way, what are you doing on Thursday? It's like, come show up and talk about what you're doing because, like like I said, the last time we spoke, you were working. You just finished an album.
Yeah.
You were getting ready, and I was like, you're getting ready to go on tour, but it was more like an online tour.
Yeah.
And how did those things work out? Because we didn't speak about the performance because you did a performance here in Toulouse at the Connection.
Yes.
It was just before that we last spoke.
Oh, so at the Connection it was awesome because like I knew the person who was in charge of the communication.
It helped.
And she was super nice, and her friend in charge of the organization was also nice, and all the artists too. Like we share amazing conversation and how it's can be hard sometimes to be an artist and to
Yeah.
strive. And that made me feel less alone, and I had connection with the public who loved the song and who felt like what I feel when I write the song. I
Right.
can see them in their eyes, and they were also with my friends, so it was
Yeah,
also
that's always really nice is when you can see that what you're doing um, has an effect on an
Mhm.
individual, but not more as an effect something that's negative, but really a positive effect. And we never really know how our words and the things that we're actually creating have an effect on people. Like right now, the show is live online.
yes.
There's absolutely no one watching, but there will be a time that somebody will see the show.
Yeah.
They're going to be able to take something from it or not. They'll just listen to the music and say, "Okay, that was nice," and keep on moving. But we know how important words are,
Yes.
right? And what that does, and how that does something to individuals. And then you mix that with music, and you come out with things like golden hour. Can you explain to the audience what golden hour meant, or what was going on when you were making golden hour?
So I released the album. I think it was in 2020 or 2021. Honestly, I don't remember. I think
Mhm.
2020. And Golden Hour is part of it, and it's just about just seeing life on another spectrum, seeing life where it's beautiful, and just putting your eyes where it is beautiful, and not worry about everything that might not go right.
Okay, all right. Well, here it is, golden hour.
Sometimes I'll be making up stuff. I'm just like, I
I
don't remember what that means. This song, I wrote this in 2019. I don't know.
I have no idea. I have no idea. All right. So I have that one. Jimmy.
That's the new one.
Okay. So I was like, okay, I should do the two together. We'll talk about this one, and then maybe, uh, yeah, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the new one because we're talking about also French language,
Yeah.
Creole, because that was the other aspect of being able to talk about that. Because when you are able to express yourself in your maternal language,
Yeah, that was like a spiritual experience. I was like, what? What
it's
is happening to my body right now?
our body experiences. So I could open the door.
No, I'm fine.
Okay,
It's just
all
that I
right.
should take this off, but I don't want to put it back. So I'm just like, I'm just gonna suffer. It's okay.
Suffer and sweat. You're gonna create your own sauna. Uh-huh. And there you have it, Golden Hour by BG Jimmy. So, of course, we were talking about during kind of like that musical break um, about creating music, but there was something that happened recently. I guess was it towards the end of the year, or
Yes.
uh, maybe you can explain it to the audience what took place because I was like, this is very interesting.
Talking about the new song or the.
The language.
Oh yeah, at the end of this year, I had a lot going on in 2021, and I just wanted something new. I guess inside of me, I was feeling like something was gonna emerge, like boxes were gonna break, and I will just expand something. I don't know. I felt it in the atmosphere, and I don't know. I started writing in French, which I was always scared about because in the literature, like French people are always mad when you butcher something. So I was like, okay, writing in French first of all, but also I was writing in my own language, like from because I'm from Martinique, so I was writing in Creole and I felt like my ancestor was speaking to me and stuff like these.
Okay.
Like a lot of spiritual stuff happened. I was like, okay, I kind of like where 2024 is going.
Okay, because that was something that we spoke about. There is a certain way that your own, and we call it maternal language, will actually bring more things out
Yeah.
in you. I mean, it's like from therapy to music to whatever, there's just something about being able to express yourself in your own language, which is completely different
Yeah.
than anything. And like you said, when you felt like it's like, oh, the ancestors are bringing something out, it's like, okay, I wish that would happen to me on these tests of my French ancestors, but it does not happen. But anyway, that's another story. But yeah, so I mean, so what did that really feel like to you when you had that moment of of using your maternal language? Because it's not just French; this is Creole.
Yes, it was like kind of reconnecting to my little self. I was just like,
Okay,
oh, I used to do that. Oh, I used to talk to my ancestor and spirit guides. Why did I
right.
stop? Where was I in the middle? It's like it was a welcoming party, I guess,
Yeah,
with them. I was just like, oh, I miss y'all, and like I think you bring the best out of me. And one thing God has always told me in my lifetime was to just be myself. That's where He's gonna bless me the most. So I was
yeah,
just
right.
like, okay, it's kind of scary because it's a complete raw me, but I like where it's heading.
Yeah,
So I was just like,
yeah,
let's
okay.
just go and let's do it this year.
Okay, okay. And because I mean, like, do you communicate with your family already in Creole, or is it just French?
No, that's the other
Okay,
thing too. Like in my hometown, it's not very taught to speak. Our it's our heritage is put on the side,
okay.
by
So
French
it's like
people.
okay, it's
So it was
like
already a
cool.
little hard for me. But like that's how my granddad was speaking to me. That's how my
Okay,
grandpa was always talking to me, and I used to not understand a damn word of what he was saying. I was just like, okay, I don't know what you're saying, but
I'll
cool.
take it. I'll take it.
So yeah, that's probably why it also felt like it was reconnecting to my old little self. Yeah.
Okay, okay. There is something about these grandparents. They grandparents do the most. And he said granddads, but my grandmother
Yeah.
did a lot. But granddads, something about them. So we're gonna listen to "Drop It Low," and you
Yeah.
have a guest on here. Tell us the
About
guest.
this, yeah, it's this song that I released at the end of last year in October, if I remember. And this person was someone that I always wanted to work with. Like I've seen him before, and I was like, I want to work with this person.
Okay.
And his work ethic was awesome. And then we made this song about being able to live truly to ourselves and having fun for once in our lifetime.
Having fun for once. All right, so this is Drop It Low, BG Jimmy, and the guest is
Ivanel.
Even.
Yes.
Even. So here we go.
Also, I like to do stuff like radios and interview you because, like, even if my head is not clear, like when I speak, it's just flow naturally.
But that's the thing, It's like okay. So do you? So on this particular track, this would be more for the people that are online, like for video purposes.
Mhm.
Do you speak? I listened to it, but I was like, I'm listening for the Creole. I don't hear it on this
Girl, I
one.
haven't sent it yet to
Ah!
you.
That's what I was like. Well, wait a minute. I don't Creole. Oh yeah. I was like, okay.
I'm gonna send it to you
You gotta,
later.
you gotta submit to the Creole stuff because that's one thing about Louisiana. We also have our own
That's what I
Creoles.
understood from the guy that I'm saying. He was like, oh, but like I just googled it and there is Louisiana Creole. I was like, what do you mean? I'm gonna see Erika tomorrow. What do you mean?
What do
That's
you mean? It's
really?
like yeah. I mean, like well, I mean, some words are a little
Yeah, like
different,
all the Creole from the entire thing.
but like where, and then we'll talk about this online as well. Is like on the air is like poo for example.
Mhm.
I think in Creole from the Caribbean,
Mhm.
popo means a person with a big butt, whereas popo for us is the police.
Yeah.
Right? It's violent. So I mean, there's different stuff. Like if you say it, um, it's still going to be a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the new song that is gonna come out next month is in French.
Okay. All right, we'll talk about that too.
I was like, do I send it? Yeah, I don't know.
You send it whenever you do. It's not going to be now, but
And it's literally my last year. All the relationship I had plus
okay.
the argument with my boyfriend. I was like, let me get it all out on paper. And I was like, damn, it's pretty.
Divas.
Yeah, that's one thing I liked about like his work ethic because I worked. This song was supposed to be for another artist,
Yeah.
and it was a paying to work with him, and I was like, I don't think that's gonna work.
And this is one of the things we talked about, and just in the car, just like on our way here, it's finding the people or being around the people who are, we know what their roles are. Like I said, used for, but it's like, what are their roles in our lives, right? And not everybody should be in roles that we place them in,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when bullshit happens. Jimmy. Just like moving something else. Give us a time to kind of like relax. Um, this is not extra, but I gotta remember. This is the thing. I keep saying I gotta remember what I put. I gotta remember what I put. I gotta remember what I put. If I don't write it down, I'm not going to remember. So, your song was. So I got Dijon drop. Just before that, it was us talking Golden Hour. Just before that, it was something else. I had two songs. I don't remember what they were. Who that?
That's the artwork of the
Okay. Don't come with it for me. That's another way of saying look around the
And also, that's pop work. Like making pop. That's one thing I said my teachers when I was at SAE. I was like, you have to make pop to appeal to. I was like, I will never make pop music. And then I was like,
never
oh,
say never, right? Young person.
It kind of sounds good.
Never say never. That's one thing we never do. We never say never. And then it's the same. And just like that, we're back. So, BG Jimmy, we were speaking between the break, and for those who can catch the show online via video, we were talking about this Creole connection between Martinique and Louisiana. And someone told you that Louisiana had,
Creole in it.
I was like, of course we do.
But I didn't know, because I know the Creole from the Caribbean, but I didn't know. Like, I know we went kind of everywhere because of colonization, but I was like, okay, that's the funniest thing, that I'm gonna meet you, and then
But it wasn't just through colonization; it was also through the history of slavery. Because
that's what I meant by it. Yeah.
Because we were kind of like pushed around
everywhere.
And the Creole that we have in Louisiana is most closely related to Haiti.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So our connection, especially from New Orleans up to like the areas where we speak French, is closer to Haiti.
Okay.
So there are some words that we'll say, for example, popo. And it doesn't matter where popo is said outside of Louisiana. It means somebody with a big butt, right? But in New Orleans and in the surrounding areas, popo actually means the police. Right? 5, right? So it's like, okay, popo's coming, whatever. But there may be some other words that are very similar, but because of where my family was located, we didn't have that Creole base. I mean, there were some words where somebody had a nickname like Tilou. And it has a T and there's apostrophe, and the person was called Tilou. And I'm sure there were certain things like that as well. So that's always interesting to find out that yes, we do have similarities on that side of the Atlantic. And we're also speaking about something else, and I kind of forgot, as far as the music wise, the Creole, the music, the inspiration for your new album. That's where we're going. It had to come. The inspiration for your new album, because you said, okay, I'm gonna send you like the music,
Yeah.
the French stuff later. Everyone, not now, later, because it's coming out in February. Can you share with the audience about that kind of or that journey
Yeah.
for February? Right.
Okay, for February there will be a
2024,
single. Yeah. For this February, the end of February, a single called Ne me cherche pas, which will be in French.
We said what that meant, right?
Yeah, and it just reminded me of kind of the theme of my year, which was going into relationship, and it's just about knowing your value in all of that. That you don't depend on people to know what you're worth, and that's the whole thing of this song. And I was like, it fits perfectly because it's kind of a pop record, and like it just reminded me of the past, the 2023 to 2024 now.
Yeah. Because we were also speaking about like when you said that you weren't going to make a pop album
Yeah.
based upon where we met, which was through EMAD and then SMU.
Yeah.
And then you were like, well, yeah, they told you something. They
Yes.
shared with you something, which was
Yeah, the head of producing, if I can call it like that, was telling me, if you want to touch as much people as you say you want to, you will have to make pop records. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to. No, never. And then I'm making it because I love it. So.
Right. But what they said was never say never. Never say never. And speaking of never say never, we don't ever never say here that we're not going to play music from New Orleans. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to play some music. And of course, it is Mardi Gras season. So we're still celebrating Margarita season. Mardi Gras
Your favorite
season.
drink?
No. We're going to celebrate Mardi Gras season. Here on Lagniappe with BG Jimmy, and here we have Fayayay. And we'll see what this is. Because, also with Mardi Gras season and our catalog or our music for Mardi Gras season, it's still a USB key surprise. Here it is. There we go. I couldn't remember. And it's okay. And this is like 9 minutes of that. So yeah, now there was like, I need to go to the restroom like 30 minutes ago. And the tea is not gonna help, but so now that's interesting that you were able to still find your voice in pop music and like a trusted.
Yeah. Then the thing I'm wondering now is how it's gonna fit together. But I know God is going.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just like, do I release the album like I wanted to at the end of this year or next year? Things like this that I'm wondering right now.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, everything is changing. I'm like, oh, I'm writing in Creole now. Does it really fit what I was trying to say?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'll figure it out. As always, it's fine.
Yeah, and it's gonna work. It's gonna work. So I just wanna. I love these. It's just like when you talk about people that's doing what they want to do. These particular artists are doing what they want to do. And speaking of, we're going to take a little picture. Wrong way. And I forget that I have it on that. There we go. And it's still in there. We're great.
So yeah, and also I was scared to do French and Creole because I was like, oh, people might, because I've seen the statistics. This is also one thing that is horrible now for artists. We can see everything. So it's just like, oh, most of people are English speaking people. It's USA, France is the fourth one, I think. Africa, South Africa, Canada, and something else. But most of them are. And I was like, am I really gonna make French music? And one of my, because I said it in the story, one of my followers was like, that I don't care. Like, I listen to Spanish thing and I don't understand what it says. So I was like, you're right.
Anything.
You're right. I do the same. I don't understand what they say, but I love it.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So that's putting content out still. So YouTube. Yeah.
And also when I was with my just get off the voice. When I was with my boyfriend, let's see, walking around because I was learning to drive. Um,
Hmm.
there was people. I feel there was from my country. They were just doing for the carnival. I was just like, God, you funny as hell. Like I just talked to my ancestor a couple of months ago. I'm making Creole music, and now I'm seeing people that have like never ever in Toulouse did I see people making music from our country all of us sudden in front of me and dancing, and I was like celebrating. It's like, damn,
Right there you go.
it's really all coming together.
And that's the thing about like once we start moving into these different spaces, those individuals will come. Someone recently told me that it was, when it's time for us to move in a certain directions, there will be phenomena. People will be sent, and then there's one other element that I always forget, but it's like we'll have phenomena, we'll have people that are sent to us, and then everything kind of works together to make sure that whatever needs to be expressed is going to be expressed to its
Yeah,
maximum, right? So
and I think it also started
resources.
because I started meditating more, and I started to follow a girl. She's called Chantress Yeba or something like that. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, I saw.
Seba, or I don't remember her name. And I was just like, the thing that she's, I don't agree with everything, but the thing that she speaks, I was just like, the things that I feel with my ancestors. And I was like, damn, girl,
Yeah,
you really be talking to Dan, because.
yeah, and she like I've seen some of her like videos where you have a guy with a hanging
Yeah.
pan in the background. She got a microphone. She's in the middle of nowhere,
Hmm.
and she doing her thing.
And I was like, that's what I used to do
Do
when I was a
you
kid.
do right?
It's like, damn, girl, I like it.
Yeah. There's this woman online who I don't remember her name right now, but she does the affirmations. I remember
Hmm.
I think I showed it to you. And you're like, yeah, you can do that. But then we also have that kind of unlimitedness that we feel about ourselves, saying that, yeah, I can do that too, and I can do that, and I can do that, and I can do that.
Yeah.
And you're like, then after a while, it's like, it's too much. So being able to know when to do what is very important. Oops. And that's where that discernment is really important as well. There's not enough foot space, but yeah, so it's really important to be able to do that as well, and um, just understand just who are the people in our lives, where do they fit, what roles they need to play, what roles we need to play in their lives, if we need to play any at all,
Mm.
right? So that's really important to be able to do that. So we're going to talk about the about and we're going to talk after this one. It's like 9 minutes long.
Mm. And even things that I was singing my songs, and I was just like one song it's called Nami Mada. But like I talk about water and everything, and then I don't know how, I think I was listening to a song from One Africa, and they were saying I think it was Mami Water,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
what
one
it
of
is.
their goddess. I was like, damn, bro, like it's just all come back all the time to me.
Right. I mean, also this is also the thing where it's a convergence of what we've felt that we need to do, and then also knowing that you're under 30. There's a lot of there's things that are being brought to you to learn and to explore, right? I mean, even if you go to Colombia, they have money water there as well, right? So it's really interesting, and then even we're not even going to talk about Louisiana because it's just that's some stuff for another day. It's just so much, and when the time is right, the people are brought to you to help you understand what those things are.
Yeah.
Like it is. I mean, you know this, I know this. Like when I said that God, I want to be able to put some music online. Here comes Samuel, BG Jimmy, to help me out, to bring some stuff up and to the front and be like, okay, this is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Some stuff done. That's cool. So yeah, and it works. So we'll talk about that. The French part, the other aspect of the language that you said was a little scary for you is being able to speak in French or sing in French and then have people still follow you and
Okay.
what they said about that. And then maybe one of the song about my work dad and being able to explain that to the public as well. And you'll be able to have both of these as well. Tell everyone. This music sometimes can also be meditative in that just listen to the
Yeah, it
thing.
was
You
just
don't
like
have to.
literally just this is a
Yeah,
ritual,
it's
a
just
ritual to take
right.
out their. I don't know.
Yeah, but this is like just before Mardi Gras, and you have like what they call the spy boys that come out to see who's the other group that's on the street and everything. And hi, yes, that was fire, yeah, on a Mardi Gras day. And so we, of course, were speaking about the language aspect of the music and your audience, like
Yeah.
your fans, and you're saying like, oh, hey, the other aspect is French people want things to be a certain way, and then the Creole aspect, and then so what was it that kind of like was brought about or brought up when you put out this French song and
Yeah.
you haven't put it out yet, but
Yeah.
you were making it, right?
Yeah, when I was making Ne me cherche pas and other songs that are a mix of French and Creole for the other ones, I was just like, damn, I'm writing in French, which first of all I was scared about because French people are very particular about their languages, and then I was just like, but also as an artist, you can see everything, all the analytics, and I was just like, my audience does not really speak French, or if they do, it's like Canadian, like it's not exactly the same. And I was kind of scared, and I put it out on Instagram in my story. And I was like, guys, I think I wrote a French song. Like, will that interested you? And people were like, we don't really care what language you use because I'm listening to Spanish song and I don't even understand what they say, and I love it. I was like, yeah, you guys are right. So I just gonna put it out at the end of February.
Yeah, there you go. So we're going to be looking forward to this February 2024 and this new, this is the single,
Yeah.
right, that's coming out. You're going to be looking forward to that. But there was something you also mentioned during our kind of musical break here on the show about some of the words that were coming to you in Creole while you were working on your album here in France. What was that about as well?
One of a lot of things, like I said, I was speaking with my ancestor while writing these songs, and words were just coming out of my mouth that in some way meant something to me, and I was just like, okay, it looks cool, it sounds cool, and it's very, very good. Like one of the songs that might or might not come out was called Mami Mada, because I was just thinking about my own country, because in Martinique we say Mada, which means Martinique. And when I was recently, I think it was this week, listening to another song that just came out in my Spotify, which was an African artist. He was saying Mami Water, and in these song that I made, I was talking about Mami Mada and her bringing me water to survive and live. And in this song, he was saying Mami Water, and I was like, so in some kind of capacity, my ancestors speak to me and speak to others about the things that are unseen, and I love it.
Right, that are unseen, right? So there you have it. We're waiting for this to come out. Right?
Yeah, I'm
and
excited.
of course,
too.
like just share the entire album online. Either you come back here and we can talk about it, or we can definitely talk about it on your podcast. Which brings me to ask you, where can everyone find you?
Oh yeah, you can find me on all streaming platform BGJIMY, BJJIMY, if I even remember how to say this in English, or on Instagram, The Life of BGJIMY. Like you can find everything there. And
Right, there you go. So, and then of course, you'll be able to find if you weren't able to catch it there. You'll be able to find it online on canalsud.net, where you'll be able to find all the information from the show today, as well as previous shows, and where you can find BG Jimmy, BG as in George, Jimmy J as in Jimmy.
Yes. Thank you.
I don't think J as in jump. How about that?
Yep.
So here we go. We're gonna jump back into the music. And speaking of ancestors, this is from the King Zulu Parade, and we'll see which particular song this is. And like I said, the playlist will be online as well. There you go. It is hot, man. Woo-doo.
How long is the ride to Esquirol?
It would be in the car first. It's like the time to get in the car, park at Esquio, unless you have something to do.
No, because I was like, I can make you listen to the song.
Okay, we can do that. Okay, so we're at the 45-59 minute mark. Okay. So this is really, really old.
And also, when I was looking at the Magna Water, I was just like, that's basically what I've been thinking about the past 2 years.
Okay.
About abundance, about healing, about clairvoyance, and all these things. I was like, that's funny as hell.
Right. Yeah, that's something that whenever we start that creative process, it goes back to the same thing. Everything that we need, or the elements that need to be put into play, they're all like right there, and then they're confirmed. Just like before getting out of the car, we saw those two nuns. For me, whenever I see nuns anywhere, that's my confirmation that whatever it is, whatever I might be concerned about, it's okay. How many times do you fly and you see like a nun on your plane? Random, right? But no, it's not that random. So it's beautiful when you realize that your purpose is aligning up to who God would have you to be as well, right? And those are those different little confirmations along the way that say, you a crazy child of mine, and you're still trying to do what I'm asking you to do. So let me go ahead and provide these things for you, or these resources for you. So I don't want to just say things, but resources, whether it's finance, whether it's access to a radio station, whether it's access to a platform where you can put your music out, or whether it's a whole school that says, hey, you want to use our studio? Well, oh, okay. All right. I see that. We're going to do this one. We're going to do the next song. And then we're going to close it out. We're going to put the thank you. Tell them again where they can find you. So this is what we're mostly used to, is like the brass bands. So if you want to find the Caribbean in the States, Louisiana. And not all Louisiana, just South Louisiana.
The when he said this, because also it was the Ukraine guy. I was like, how? Because I was just like, yeah, I wrote in Creole, and the guy just look it up on YouTube, find a video, and it's about Creole, Louisiana. I was like, how in the world does that happen, God? You funny. A white man find this? No.
God got all kind of jokes. We don't think they're funny at first, and then we're like, for real. Yeah, for real. For real. All right, so we're going to do that. And then we're going to, I think it was a while that we have known each other. Just a while. And then after the wild magnolias. And then it was number 11. Going back to back. Oh, 14. Carnival. Carnival. And this is cool. Yeah, you can figure it out, right? Now I will ask this. I wonder how many versions of "Do What You Want" there is. This is "Do What You Want" Part 3. So there's a Part 1. There's a Part 2. There's a Part 3.
They did this
And
for
it's
20 minutes
probably
and they cut it.
right. I think they. So this is a lot of the music that you would typically find during carnival season in New Orleans.
Mm.
We don't do all that in Baton Rouge. We the ones that's like, you don't take all that. You don't take all that. We don't have that kind of like carnival type atmosphere in Baton Rouge. But
I never went to carnival because my mama was like, "This is the devil." I was like, "Girl, well, it depends where you go, but girl."
yeah. It's like it's a new way to meditate, right?
And I was like, "Yeah, depends who you talk to, but."
Right. Hours. It can be like this for hours.
Mhm.
I put up the show online. I ain't gonna edit nothing. People are just gonna have to fast through what they want to fast through. And there you have it. We do what we wanna. Here, right here on Lagniappe with Cannon Sud 92.2. And we're here with BG Jimmy. And we have come already to the full circle, top of the hour. And Lord, thank you, BG Jimmy, for joining us to share with us your journey 2020, 2021, 22, 23. We had a little break. And then we're back 2024, full circle with some new stuff. And the French is coming out.
Yeah.
And not just the French, it's the Creole that's coming out. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for
Well, I was
joining us.
happy to be here.
Yeah. And can you tell the audience again where they can find you?
Yeah, they can find me on all the streaming platform. BG Jimmy. BGJIMY. Girl, English is hard. And on Instagram, The Life of BG Jimmy.
And there you go. And we're going to leave all of you this week with Carnival time. See y'all next week.
Yeah, I hate it in English where the J is a G and the G is a J. And I'm like,
I'm
huh?
like, who did that? Who did that? Oops. Oops. We're coming to the end. I don't know if you ever feel like a kid when you have like the camera on and you're like doing all kinds
Then like what?
like a kid and you're doing like
Oh,
kind of
kid.
silly stuff. You know, it's like you know what he's watching and the likelihood that someone actually will see it.
I mean, so many things happened to me that now I'm just like,
I'm kind of glad there were no cameras, right? Or
people
they
look
watch
back
later.
to old stuff and I'm like, that's how you find me? For real? This?
That. I was looking through some of your catalog actually of your music, and I was like, oh, maybe that could be interesting. That could be interesting. And I'm like, no, we don't stick to two, and then we're just gonna have a conversation about the language and about coming back, like we said, full circle, coming back to different things and so.
I have to put things on YouTube because apparently people listen there too. I'm like,
Uh,
more work.
no, YouTube is easy. YouTube's it's
Yeah,
easy.
but sometimes the new one from 2023, for example, it appears only if you go to my playlist thing, and I'm like,
We're
huh?
not gonna talk
Y'all
about.
complicated everything for
We're
me.
not gonna talk about that part of of. That's one thing I like about being able to fade out. You can fade out. You can fade out. It's like 10 seconds is really long.
Not when you're in an exam.
No, it is not. Ooh. Okay, so we've already made it to the end, and here we go. So, thanks for joining us. Thank you. Yay! It's like yay. Oh wait, where's in stream, and yes. Oh, that's not it. That's it.